flying towards us at our school right at this moment. It is 10 o'clock at night on March 3rd, 2003, and President George W. Bush has just presented a speech in which he stated these words. At this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operation to disarm Iraq, free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger. This lie is directed to American civilians sitting there in front of their television set as they are and when this hour ends, the person sitting next to you will no longer be alive, and most likely neither would you. The reason why I want you to imagine what the situation would be like is because Iraq was just like us. What they don't tell us, what so many of us don't know, and which we should, was that Iraq was a first world country just like us. There were schools and there were teachers, and students would stress during exams like we do. And now those students no longer go to school. They no longer experience the stress of exams. No, they experience a far greater stress. The stress of losing loved ones. The stress of being torn away from their families and friends. The stress of trying to survive each and every day in an existence determined by war. Iraq was reduced to third world country status. Hundreds and thousands of people killed, and those alive terrorized daily, ironically, by the war on terror, which achieved nothing but terrorized its own people. We've all read about the war in newspapers or heard about it on television. How many of you knew earlier that day in the city of Baghdad, students were at school having lessons? How many of you knew that in April 2007, America began to build a 5-kilometer long, 3.6-meter high sectarian wall to separate conflicting sects of Sunnis and Shiites? The war was never completed, but these oppressive walls of injustice are made to be broken down by the hunger for freedom, just like the Berlin Wall was destroyed. As Oscar Wilde once said, history does not repeat itself, it rhymes. Recently in our own parliament, President Obama stated that history is on the side of the free. Yes, the side of the free except for the Palestinians, who must never be free, and the Saudis because they have the oil, and Afghans because we love to kill them, and thousands of asylum seekers here in Australia because we love jailing them for free. History is on the side of the free for those who have the power to do what they want. And in the 21st century, in a world that revolves around wealth and war, the people with this power often grossly abuse it. However, most of us are so oblivious, so ignorant to the controversial forms of power abuse that occur around the world. One such example of power abuse is water privatization by powerful companies such as Suez and Veolia Environment. This has a devastating impact upon the poorer people in countries such as Bolivia and Argentina, which causes a lack of resources and health problems as they cannot afford to buy clean water, and instead they can only drink polluted water. In fact, a bottle of Coca-Cola is cheaper than a bottle of clean mineral water in places such as Mexico. What I cannot comprehend is that these companies get away with such criminal acts of depriving people of basic human rights. In fact, it is these powerful companies that bully our politicians, that they can hardly deserve that term. Our politicians pass laws in their favour and block those that are detrimental to their purpose. That is the case when you look at the different economies of first world countries. Australia consists of a resources economy. We profit from selling minerals to China and other countries. America, on the other hand, is based on a war economy. This essentially means that America profits through war. Without war, weapons producers would not be able to sell off their bombs and missiles to other countries. In fact, America purposely sells weapons to conflicting countries to encourage war, so that there will be immense blood-stained profit through making other countries suffer. But it's not only these companies that are causing injustice around the world, it is those living in suppression and poverty affected by these issues. In fact, the largest group of people impacted is us, you and me. Every day, almost every minute of our lives, we are subjected to an immeasurable amount of advertising. In fact, advertising in social media is one of the greatest and most successful forms of propaganda. It may not seem like it, but advertising is a form of propaganda. The amount of American television and music and culture that we are subjected to is so great that Australia is in fact the most advertised country in the world per capita. Why is it that the MX newspaper is handed out to people on the trains for free? Where is the profit? The profit lies in changing the way you perceive others. We subconsciously absorb harmful thoughts of materialism, body image obsession, social media, and most of us don't know that we are changing for the worse. You have opened your eyes since I last told you to close them at the beginning of the speech, but what I'm asking you to do is to truly open them. Realize that there is a wall in front of you. That is the first step. And then, if you choose, try to make a hole in that wall, and open your eyes up to the injustices around the world. Open them up to the things that matter in this world. Open your eyes and see what is wrong in this world.